Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did it. Ah, Brett, you suck.
And backwards somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but
No, that's perfect though.
yeah,
And now it just feels
mirror
silly.
reflection of yours.
Yeah.
Man, my computer can't do it. I got a penguin.
I need to. That is awesome. I wonder if I can do that.
Oh, you started it. Okay, should I start?
Yeah, sorry, but don't introduce yet. Hang on. Display. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. All right, go ahead, Brett.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of Too Opinionated, where today we have actress Belle Adams with us. How are you today, Belle?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Better now. I nailed that shit. Sorry.
I was going to tell you how good that sounded.
So good.
And then you blew it. Oh.
Continue.
We're counting on you.
So close, Brett. So close.
Sorry.
That's all right. Well, Belle, thank you so much for joining us. We've been really excited to talk with you. And if you wouldn't care, let our listeners and the people watching on YouTube know how you got into the entertainment business.
I started pretty young, actually. My parents were sort of like when we were kids, they basically like threw everything at us, like try soccer, try basketball, try tennis, maybe you're a cheerleader, maybe do you like art? Let's try some art. Let's do ballet. Maybe ballet is a thing. So I was doing like, we did most things under the sun, or like got a taste test of like the platters of like the extracurricular activities that kids can do. And I was horribly uncoordinated. So sports were pretty much out of the question. It's the burden that I carry. And then I kind of liked dance, but it didn't really get me. Art was a thing that I liked. I liked to craft. And then I was in my first musical when I was like 12 years old, I think.
Yeah.
And that it just all kind of clicked. It all fell into place. And I was like, this is it. And I remember singing, like belting my first note on stage. I was in the Jungle Book and I was Bagheera, the cat, panther. And I remember like singing my first note loudly on stage and getting like the attention, like people's attention, and realizing that I had like some effect on people. And then that was it. It was a done deal. And then I just got I caught the bug there, and then just got like obsessed with it and continued to do theater in high school. And my mom was pretty connected in the film industry and has been for a long time in Atlanta.
Right.
Which is where I grew up. So I was sort of like plugged in, like tangentially through my mom before I ever got started. Like I was doing like Cartoon Fridays, which was a thing. Do you guys remember what that was on Cartoon Network?
Oh yeah, of course.
Cartoon Fridays.
That,
it was
Brett?
like.
No, I don't.
Cartoon Fridays was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was basically just like they had like these little intro things where it was like these two like wacky adults, and they would introduce the next like TV show that they were airing, and behind them was like a bunch of little kids, and they would be like, we're gonna do crazy dancing now, and all the kids would like like freak out and do like crazy dancing. So I was a crazy dancing kid on Cartoon Fridays, but I didn't know we were on TV. I didn't know it was on TV. My mom was always like, we're going to do these things. We're going to go to a pool party. And the pool party was being filmed the whole time and was actually a commercial. But she sort of like framed it as, this is a playtime. We're going to go and have a dance party with the kids. So that was like, I was always around film, even when I didn't know it as a kid.
Right.
And then once I started doing theater, it just sort of all made sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I probably saw you on some of those.
Yeah, potentially.
Well, I feel
Probably
a little
just like
embarrassed.
this much of my head in the background.
Gosh, I really don't remember those.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, maybe they just ended before my time.
Well, I mean, how old were you then, Belle, when you were doing those?
Oh, I had to have been like 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
I was a
And
little
I don't know
tight.
a thing.
Yeah, that's why you don't remember, Brett. You were probably like 4 or 5 at the time.
You were just a wee babe.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Just to get this out of here, I shaved and now my head looks like a turtle. I can't get over it.
It's
think you
okay.
look
These
good.
backgrounds kind of turned me into a thumb, so not far off.
Well, you see
You
what
see
I'm
me
working
somewhere?
with. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
We got a
Very
turtle, a
thumb-like.
thumb, and a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm working. I had hair until the quarantine, and then it all fell out.
That's what happens to the best of us.
I tell you, it's been
I'm
rough.
lugging around all
Look
this
at your
heavy hair.
future, Brett.
You're not my future.
Belle, so Atlanta's become kind of a hot spot for a lot of TV shows and stuff now. Are you doing anything back in Atlanta?
I did a couple of years ago. I did a feature film called This World Alone, and that was a local Georgia project. But it was shot in Hiawassee. I don't actually really do a lot of stuff on the East Coast nowadays.
Right.
There's a lot of opportunity out there. But LA is still like it's where the main game is. It's where the big leagues, So a lot of this, most of the work that I get and most of like the auditions for lead roles on TV shows and recurring roles and series regulars are generated here in Los Angeles, cast in Los Angeles. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been out to LA. My wife works out there normally when she's able to travel. But I've been out there several times just kind of tagging along, and I really like it. It's of course, now, that being said, when I'm out there, I'm in all the good spots. So there's probably some not good spots, but I'm not in those.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's a really fun place.
I'm happy you brought that up, Dad, because I would like to tell you about how bad my dad is. He goes to LA 4 or 5 times a year, and I'm a film major, and he's never been like, "Hey, Brett, would you like to come?" Yeah, he's just like.
But now,
"Hey,
be honest.
and,
be honest. We are going to send you this summer, and our plans have kind of got messed up.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. We were working on it. Yeah, so we'll get you there. It's coming.
Yeah, I was gonna go, and then I was like, well, maybe I should just wait till my dog dies.
Oh, it's awful. Your dog's young.
I know. I just don't.
What he means is he can't stand to be away from his dog.
Oh,
That's
what kind of dog?
He's a pit bull. He's asleep right there on my bed.
Oh my gosh, baby!
You could have made the bed.
I wasn't planning on showing it.
You can't have girls on the show and talk about your dog and have them not want to see the dog.
I don't think you can have anybody on the show. I don't think gender matters. Everybody likes dogs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dogs.
Everybody likes dogs. So Belle, I was reading through some of your stuff, and it said you were a member of an improv troupe.
Yes. I currently take improv classes, and they still offer them online. Actually, they're doing like Zoom improv shows right now, which is
neat.
Very, very cool. And they're doing them well. They're pulling them off. But it's at Impro Theater. It's just improv without the V.
Yeah.
And they do narrative improv, so they'll do hour-long, full-length plays within a genre. And that's like Jane Austen. They do a Star Trek one, which I know you guys are fans.
Yeah.
And
One of us is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Right. We got a hater in the room. Okay. Got a hater. Hater's gonna hate. What you gonna do? Shakespeare, completely improvised, Tennessee Williams, and right now I'm in a rom-com class. So we're doing a fully improvised romantic comedy via Zoom. So that's one part of the improv that I do. And the other group that I'm in is called Chased by Bear. And we've been together for like, gosh, 4 years now.
Wow.
And they were basically, I got linked up with them through a theater called the Nerdist Theater, which no longer exists anymore. It was like sort of under the umbrella of the Chris Hardwick Empire Nerdist. Yeah. And they're now called the Ruby. And they've done like this really cool revamping, like inclusive, kind of feminist driven improv theater, which is really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, but that's where me and my troupe met. All my mates in my improv troupe. We went through their entire program together, and then at the end of it, we were like, we got to keep doing this, guys. We just got to keep doing this.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, we got to keep doing this. So we started doing our own sort of like narrative, story-based improv show. And Impro graciously took us on, and now we have a show at their theater.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I do a little improv too. If you want to, I'll give you an example. But here, this will be my audition. Let me think. I'm a bystander, and a lady's getting robbed.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Stop it. Thank you.
Wow.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
You know, it felt like I could feel, the concern in your voice.
It
was also a little bit of anger. Did you get that?
Just a tinge.
Yeah.
I was detecting a lot of nuance in that.
Yeah.
Really, I think you might be an actor, Brett.
Uh-huh.
Be an actor.
He's had an acting class.
I have.
You have?
Yeah, it was me and about 3 14-year-old girls.
We're a small town.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Oh man, was this like yesterday that was happening?
It was like yeah, last semester or so in October-ish.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a winning story.
We had to do some love scenes. I was like, I don't really want to.
You did not.
No,
it's terrible.
We did a couple. Yeah, no, seriously. He goes, you're acting, and I go, I don't think the police will see it that way.
Oh no.
No.
Oh.
You're ridiculous.
No, I'm not joking, Dad. I know you think I'm not. All right. No, it's fine.
It
I don't
sounds like
buy it.
you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, Brett.
Yeah. But even all actors have a crazy story, and mine just happens to be a class with minors.
It's true. We all got 'em.
All right. I guess we'll just move on. So
Do we have to? I really need to talk.
Well, if you need to.
Like,
No.
Talk this out.
So I saw you had a role in the new Perry Mason coming out.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that?
I actually can't. I signed
it. I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, how about when does it air? Is it going to be on the HBO Max when it comes out?
I have no idea. Every time I try to look up the date on that, it's like just vaguely 2020, which may not even be true anymore because of all of this that's happening. I mean, it was a very, very cool experience. I mean, I guess this wouldn't really be giving anything away because, since it's a period piece,
right?
It was all like, full 1930s, 40s costuming,
Cool.
authentic vintage clothing, and we were shooting in very, very old parts of downtown LA.
Right.
And it was like crazy, the sort of like dropped in feeling I got walking from my trailer onto set, where you just, I mean, I was in a scene with like over 100 extras, and it was, I mean, it just felt like, whoosh, like a time warp, like I had been
awesome.
like transported into another era. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's supposed to be like it's kind of like a prequel to the old show. It's like when he started out, I think is the
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're starting to advertise it, but they're not really showing anything. Just saying that it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I just sort of like let those things. There's so many times where I forget the air dates of my projects, just because the current work environment is sort of where my focus is. And it's mostly my parents that I get those pings from, where they're like, "Hey, you're on TV tonight." And I'm like, whoa, okay, cool.
That is pretty cool.
It's coming. Yeah.
Someday, Brett.
One of these days, Brett.
Oh,
yeah.
It's okay that you can't talk about that, because I kind of have a better question. What exactly is a Dax Shepherd?
A Dax Shepherd is they normally aren't allowed to cut their facial hair, so really, really long beards, normally a staff, just what you would think of if you think of like a BC era herder of Daxes.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess if you just kind of get the root word there, you can figure it out.
They're leading male actors. Daxes are leading male actors, and the Dax Shepherd is the herder of said actors.
That answer was way better than I was expecting. So we just finished. Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
The record. Are we better podcasters than Dax Shepherd?
This is their first podcast.
Yeah.
Cool. We are.
You are.
Dax didn't ask her to be on. We asked her to be on.
Well, is she a Dax? No.
That's right.
I'm not a male. I'm not a leading male.
Terrible.
Hey, go ahead, Dad. You actually have questions.
Well, I was just going to say, we just finished watching your big two-parter on Bless This Mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it ended with the cliffhanger at the. Well, it's not really a cliffhanger, but I won't give it away. But a little bit. Of it.
It's just sort of it leads you in. It's a guiding light to the next season.
Yeah. Hilarious. When I put up that you were coming on the show, I had so many people send me a note and just say, "We love her on Bless This Mess."
Oh, that's so nice to hear. That is it's really nice to hear that. I feel like there's like a little contention around Janine's character, because she kind of stirs the pot a little bit.
She does.
She's a feisty lady. So, there's some varying opinions out there about Janine.
Well, I love the way that she's she often says the wrong thing to the mom on the show, that gets her she gets all torqued up about it. Mm-hmm. And you and the actor playing your fiance on the show.
JP.
Yeah, JP. You guys are hilarious together, because his character is really funny.
Oh gosh, and he nails it. JT has such like easy timing. It just comes so naturally to him. Comedy does, on and off camera. He's got zingers. He's hysterical.
Yeah, you can tell, and you guys have a good rapport on it. It's really funny. But I love the two-parter there at the end, where you had the tornado coming, you're trapped in the I guess in the cellar or wherever you were at.
It's his man cave.
The man cave, yeah. So you're in there with Belle and I'm terrible with names. The actress that plays
Belle and Lennon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she is hilarious. The three of you together were really funny in those those scenes.
That is so cool to hear. Yeah. I mean, they are powerhouse women too. They're both directing and acting and writing and producing. It's like they do it all. They do it all. And they do it with kindness and patience and flair and comedy. It's like they're very, that's one of the coolest things about being on Bless This Mess in particular, is there are so many female directors and female camera operators and producers, executive producers, just a lot of like total powerhouse women on our set.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Well, yeah, and you've had some really amazing guest stars. I mean, Pam Grier's on the show. I mean, it's a very talented cast.
Yeah, it's a well-rounded show, and I think it's made with such heart, and like it's like just a good time show, and that is evident just even in the culture on set. Everyone is so kind and good to each other, and we're all buddies, and it's
awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, the show came on at a good time because a lot of the really big sitcom type shows have ended in the last few years. Modern Family and Big Bang, and you go back a little farther, and The Office ended, Parks and Rec, and it's been difficult to find replacements. So you are definitely one of our replacements for some of our
This
favorites.
is something he says often. Too often.
It is not. This is the first time I've ever said that.
Dad says two things. He says, all the TV shows are dying, and Brett, I wish I had a different son.
I tell you what, I said that one time in anger, and he just won't let it go. I've never. Brett knows I'm a very proud dad. I'm very proud papa now. We've got, so all of Brett's brothers and sisters have had babies in the last year.
Oh,
we've had 3 of them in the last year.
How big is that expansion pack? Like, what are the how many brothers and sisters do you have?
3. I have 1 from him, and the other 2 are steps.
Yeah, okay. And they all had kids in the last year. So he's the uncle for, he's the super uncle.
Oh wow, super uncle.
Yeah, I don't know how to handle it, to tell you the truth.
They're all pretty young, but they're going to love you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a lot. I mean, those are big shoes to fill. Super uncle?
Super uncle.
Yeah,
don't make it for you. For me, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. You can't even make your own bed, Brett.
How are we going to bring that up?
She's already got you figured out. So you mentioned, these women and the great job they do with writing, directing, producing, but you do some of that stuff.
Yeah, I do a little bit of that. I'm just sort of like, I always feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what I'm doing when it comes to writing and directing. I did a web series like a couple of years back that I was really proud of. It was kind of this like weird surrealist project that was like all these little vignettes that were kind of like Lynchian, like inspired by Kubrick and David Lynch and all of that sort of weirdness that I was into at the time.
We need to watch that, Brett.
You can check it out. It's called Time Being. It's on Vimeo.
Oh, I'll find it. I'll find it because Twin Peaks and those type of shows, awesome. I don't understand any of them, but I love them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to ask you if that was still out there where we could find it.
It definitely is. You can totally find it. It's just a Google search away. Time Being on Vimeo.
I'll find it.
I mean, we did it on basically like no budget. I think we spent maybe like $100 on the whole thing. I had a buddy with a camera and a gal with the know-how to make things happen, and we did it, and that was really cool. And then, since then I've got my writing partner, Jewel, and we like have this idea for a series, and I'm just basically sort of like experimenting with the writing and directing sides of things. And I try to like peek behind the monitors when I can during Bless This Mess shoot days and try to stay alert and keep an awareness about like, what are the directors doing? How are they managing the cast members? How are they managing extras? How are they looking at composition? What are we focused on right now and stuff like that. But I definitely feel like I'm in the novice stage of all that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I saw you did, you've done a lot of shorts, which I was curious because Brett has written a few shorts and I think they're hilarious, but I was wondering how did that help you doing the shorts, doing, more full-length acting? I'm not sure how to say that, but did that help you with your regular acting career?
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge step. Most of those shorts I did in college, and they were a part of the film program at San Diego State. But I was a theater major, and I was studying acting, and I knew that I was headed to LA after college, and I had like my ragtag bunch of misfits in the theater program that were doing movement classes with me, and I was getting my kicks there as far as performing goes. But I knew that I needed to have some sort of like a package to bring with me to LA to showcase what I was doing. Right. Because, I can't bring my theater productions into a casting room in LA. You gotta have a reel.
Right.
So I started getting involved with the film program, and it was actually a buddy of mine who was in a production of Pal Joey with me, just sort of like took me aside during one of the rehearsals and was like, I am making a short film. And I think you've got the acting chops for this. And it felt very like Hollywood producer, like, you're going to be a star one day. I was like, cool, let's do it. I'm in. So that just sort of like opened me up to this whole other part of my college experience that I hadn't tapped into. And that happened, luckily it happened my freshman year. So I just started like hanging out with a bunch of the film kids, and all of them started asking me to be in their films with them. And that gave me some very cool, their program is awesome. So it was like serious on-set experience, and it taught me etiquette and patience and all the lingo, all the on-set lingo I mostly learned in college on all those sets. Yeah. And by the end of the year, I was in senior productions that were paying me. So I was like, wow. And that was my goal. My goal at that age was I want to be a paid actor. And whether that means having a part-time job still and having to earn wages in other ways, but getting like a little bit of my income from acting, fine. And I was able to do it before I graduated college.
Yeah, does that inspire you, Brett?
It tingles. It tingles the inspirational bone.
Tell her about your short, because I love the whole concept. Just it cracks me up even listening to it. So tell her about it.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes long, I think, and it's about two friends, and they put together a shelf. Yeah. And one of the friends gets glued to the shelf, and he has to learn how to live his life as a shelf.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's a silent film, and it's oh my gosh, it's so funny. And and at the very end of it, it just
you can't ruin the end.
I got to. It's so good. The friend comes home. The one friend comes home, and he comes in his house, and he sets his stuff down on a shelf, and it's his friend. It's just the shelf. So he's learned to accept it.
This is genius, Brett. Your genius is showing.
Thank you. I'm thinking about getting the plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy to play the shelf.
Yeah.
In the feature film.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
That's
I think he's probably available nowadays. I haven't seen a lot of like plank roles on TV lately.
Yeah, but after that controversy, I'm not really sure if I want him in there.
That's a good point. His reputation's been pretty soiled.
I know.
Yeah, be careful with that. You'll make the right choice, Brett. You'll make
Yeah,
the
I just don't want to get splintered, you know.
That'd be rough. That'd be rough.
Oh no.
That was dumb, Dad. You should probably ask your next question.
Oh my gosh. It's
Good job.
That's
Good
terrible.
job. Nice jokes,
So-
Brett.
Hey, here. Like I said, improv king.
Living up to his name right now.
I know a troupe out there if you need to join.
So do I.
Yeah.
It
Very
depends.
good.
Does it have
What I
14
do, I
girls?
make connections. So, you know, I understand you sing a little bit and you write songs.
I do.
You know, we're
That's-
looking for a theme song.
We are
Just throwing that
not.
out there.
We have a theme song, thank you.
We don't have a theme song with words. We need words.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
If you're asking me to write your theme song,
I totally am.
we can have more conversations about this. I am
Really?
very down to do that.
Well, guess what, Bill? Dad's wallet is huge.
Yeah.
How do you think I afford this background?
Oh, my gosh.
This is a sign of wealth.
This is extreme wealth we have behind us.
Extravagance.
This is the
This is the pay of a librarian. behind
mark
me.
of a millionaire, right
That's
there.
right. That's right. See, you'll get that one day, Brett, but you have to earn it. Yeah, we totally want a theme song.
Yeah, actually, that sounds. Yeah, that would be nice.
I will write you a theme song. Totally.
No fooling?
What?
No fooling.
I said
No
no fooling?
No fooling.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do you
I mean-
play? Do you play an instrument as well?
I do. I play guitar. I have 3 guitars in my room right now. In fact,
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say they're probably hiding behind John Luke there.
they
It's
are.
so upsetting how much cooler you are than me.
They're right behind Jaws.
Ooh, right behind y'all's.
Right behind Jaws.
You
Yeah, I know
started
you're trying
talking
to-
about how
There she
talented
goes. Oh, I see one. Oh, I see all of them.
So
all
we've
of them?
got Conrad, which is this baby right there. And
Oh,
then
that's
we've
nice.
got P. Sherman, named after P. Sherman Wallaby Way Sydney from Nemo, because I love that movie. And that is Fishy. That guitar right there, barely showing.
Nice.
I like Fishy.
You don't like
See?
Fishy?
No, I like Fishy. He's my
Oh, you
favorite.
like Fishy. Yeah, Fishy is
She's going to get it. See?
Fishy is fishy because I got these stickers for my birthday and I put it on the guitar and I was like, that looks great.
Oh my gosh.
That clearly is awesome. So
Brett, she's very similar to you.
now my guitar is awesome.
Look at that.
So yeah.
Hey.
Looks a lot like mine.
Oh, you got a guitar too?
Yeah.
This will be news to me. So let's see what he comes up with.
I can't say that I'm the best guitarist in the world, but I can come up with some fun stuff.
That's all we need. That's what we need. You know everything you need to know. We just need a song now. Oh, he does have a
Right.
guitar.
I figure it's about the heart more than it is about the skill.
It's mine.
So
I have to play right-handed, but I'm a lefty. So
oh
it's kinda
wow.
tough. But Dad, by the way, I can play.
Okay, let's hear it. Hey, I can do that one too.
I know the
Wow, I
first.
can do that too.
Oh, cool. I know the first couple bars of "Ode to Joy."
Ooh.
Okay, let's hear it.
I haven't played. I don't know in a while. Here, no, it's no. Hold up. I don't know.
I heard something there.
Become an
Thank you.
online jam sesh.
Oh my goodness.
I really want to learn again, but I just don't have the time. That's
Yeah.
not true. I have nothing but time.
Yeah, in
I was gonna say,
quarantine,
what are you doing?
I just don't have any time in this quarantine to learn guitar. Okay.
I'll be totally honest, Bill. We were talking about how impressive you were, so I pulled up my book just to see how it's going because I was getting embarrassed of myself.
Oh.
You know,
Like, what are you-
and he's underselling. He is the best writer. He's written so many different scripts and ideas for novels. His issue is he skips around a lot, but it's all good. It's a matter of time.
I mean, it's a process, you know.
Right.
Like skipping around a lot. If that's where you got, if that's what you got to do to get where you need to be, then
I've never gotten where I need to be, so I don't know what I need to do.
okay, that's the problem.
Yeah, I finished one thing in my life, and it was 5 minutes long, and about
But it was so good.
man.
Great. It was the best 5 minutes of all of our lives, Brett.
You know, sometimes that's all you need. One good
It has
thing.
a bit of a problem with I was watching it the other day, and I realized that one of my friend's girlfriends is hanging out in the back. Like, all right, how did I miss that?
Just for no reason.
Yeah. So
I'm sad.
Yeah, but it just looks like she's part of the thing. I mean, there's
like it.
you know, it's a silent film, so it didn't affect anything.
And between you guys and me, one of my friends wanted to stop carrying a damn pumpkin. He just wanted.
What?
I was like, can you not carry that pumpkin? He's like, it's for the film. I was like, it's my film.
I don't remember seeing a pumpkin one time.
There's a damn pumpkin.
I'm gonna look at it again. This is ridiculous.
Sounds hilarious. Sounds like my kind of film.
See, when you did the big screen version of it, there's your lead actress right there.
I want one of those hyper realistic posters of like The Rock beside the shelf.
Oh, terrible. Well, Belle, yeah, we really appreciate you taking some time with us.
Absolutely.
This has been awesome. Can we tell us a little bit about what you have coming up? I know you've been stuck, but you're getting ready to get back to work. I mean, we can expect another season of Bless This Mess? Or are you going to be back on the show?
We are, I mean, fingers are crossed for it. We haven't gotten any news. There hasn't been any word on which shows have been picked up for another season. So, but it's very hopeful. All I've heard is good things, and that Bless This Mess is more than likely to be getting a season 3. So, and it's highly likely that Janine will be back. At least
has to be back.
She was pretty. I was pretty established at the end of the second season, so I can't imagine that I won't be making at least a few appearances to make a snarky comment.
Well, that's it. It kind of ups you're like a foil almost, you know, you cause some, you know, antagonism. You know, a little bit of make people uncomfortable. I mean, that's what a show needs that.
Right. I mean, all of the characters on the show are like so pleasant and fun, and they all have these like sweet relationships with each other, and I think Janine brings a little bit of like spice to the mix. You know, she stirs the pot a little bit and rubs people the wrong way, which I think is like a great thing in a show like that. Such a fun loving show like that.
My dad's a bit of a Janine.
There's a truth to that.
She's the spokesperson for all misunderstood teen girls.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Michael.
You're welcome. Well, what else do you have coming up?
Well, Perry Mason will air eventually in the future. Other than that, I mean, I'm still auditioning here from home. They've kind of converted auditions into Zoom auditioning and self-tapes. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I've been doing a lot of music, like
I know. See, now, and we've just given you another project.
Yeah, and then I've got another project. I've got a theme song coming out pretty soon. I've been generating a little bit of music with some friends of mine, so those are things you can expect in the future. And
that's pretty awesome. Have you done any like an album or anything?
Yeah,
do you have anything out there now?
I have an album. It's the very first one I put out, and I can be kind of a perfectionist when it comes to work. So this album was basically like my it was like basically my war, or like my stand against my self-perfectionism. And I was like, I'm just gonna put an album. I'm just gonna make it. It doesn't have to be good. I'm just gonna put it out there. So these songs are kind of like, you know, bare bones rough drafts of things that I've just cooked up in my closet here. That's my recording studio.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the genre, I guess, of what type of song is it?
Pretty acoustic, just me and my
Yeah.
guitar singing, and they're pretty fun. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't hate this album. It's pretty great. And it's on SoundCloud. It's called Just Fine Songs.
Just Fine Songs.
Just fine. They're just fine.
I've always wanted to have an album. I have the title for an album, but nothing else. Called Gluttons Only. It sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
Thank you.
I can almost imagine the music in my mind already, just sort of a soft rock.
I thought I could have like a white beater on and a hard hat and like an ice cream cone.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
What is this absurdist comedy you have going on, Brett? Is really, I mean, it's hitting the money.
Thanks.
All the time with him. All the time. She knows because she's actually listened to the show.
I have to make up for Dad because he's not very good.
It's okay.
So this is all I got.
No.
This is it.
You in that background.
Me in the background. Everything, all the creative juices that I had went to this background.
You know, Dad, you kind of look like Patrick Stewart.
You do, actually. Just give us that face real quick.
It's not by accident.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
Was that Patrick Stewart or was that Michael Wall? We'll never know.
You don't know. You can't tell.
We'll never know.
We don't need to feed his ego any longer.
Yeah, you've done enough. There was something I wanted to ask. Oh, I know what it was, Belle. So you've been quarantined like the rest of us have.
Yes, indeed.
What do you have any shows that you're watching?
Well, I'm actually watching season 2 of Bless This Mess right now, believe it or not.
What's that like? Because I try to get Brett to listen to our show and he refuses to do it.
It's interesting. I mean, I find it really helpful to watch my stuff back, particularly because, well, on Bless This Mess, we get to do a lot of improv on set. So that is, I mean, I never know which takes they're going to be using, and each one of them is totally different. So we'll have like our written lines, which we get a few takes of, and then we'll do this thing called a fun run, which is basically just like all heck breaks loose, and we can say or do pretty much whatever we want within the context of the show, within, you know, the story, if it works. And that is so, I mean, it's so fun. It loosens everybody up. It gets everybody on set laughing. It keeps us in the moment. And sometimes they use it. Like there are several moments in the finale, the 2-part finale of Bless This Mess, where I was like, that was my thing. That was the thing I did. And I said that. That's cool. Yeah. And so I find it really helpful to watch episodes back and see which ones they used and how that's incorporated in my character. But it is, I mean, there's definitely like, I think it was like a learning curve for me to get used to watching myself. Because when I first started watching shows that I was on or playback tapes of my auditions and stuff, I was like, is that what my face looks like?
Same.
But I think there's, I mean, it's different for everybody. If you don't want to listen to your podcast, Brett, more power to you. Some actors don't like to watch themselves and they never do. They're just like, I show up for the job, I do my work, and that's my part.
Well, I'll tell you something that bugs me, especially about watching these videos, is I got hurt a couple years ago, and now one of my eyes squints more than the other one, and it bugs me. That's true, Dad.
No, I know it. I know it's true. I know it's true. He was playing football when he was a freshman. Had the worst concussion, and he's telling the truth there. He was hurt pretty bad. He's all recovered now, though.
Super bugs me. Also, you gave me a title for a book, just off the top of my head, called "All Heck Breaks Loose." It's about someone who, probably a child, who is very innocent. He doesn't cuss. And he's like, "What the heck?" Stuff like that. That's all I have so far. But you can write the foreword.
Okay, great. Great. So we've got a theme song. We have a book collab. We're generating a lot of content here, y'all. We're really rolling in it. We're doing it.
So you're not binge watching anything besides Bless This Mess?
Well, I've been watching a lot of movies.
Ooh, any good ones?
I'm in this rom-com class, so the homework is to just watch a bunch of rom-coms. So we'll get assignments and stuff. So I watched Roman Holiday while you were sleeping.
Ooh, I
Harold
like Roman
and Maude
Holiday.
I watched recently. Had not seen it. Excellent film.
You're watching some classics.
Pretty much a perfect film. It's a classic, yeah. Been watching a lot of Jane Austen for those rom-com purposes.
Yeah.
Because it's got like a very simplified story structure as far as romance goes. Like it's very clean and nice. And I also love period films.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Have you seen the on Netflix? They've got the Hollywood show.
No.
It's by the the guy that does American Horror Story and Glee and those shows. But it's
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy, yeah, and it's set like in 1930s Hollywood. So I haven't seen it yet either, but I hear good things.
Yes. No, I have. I think that was on the banner of Netflix for a little while.
Yeah.
So I've seen like the as much as you see on the banner.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for indulging.
But real quick, out of curiosity, I had to go back to work, and I haven't worn pants in about 2 months, and now my belt doesn't fit.
Mm.
How are you doing? You doing okay?
No. I've actually ripped through all of my pants.
Me too. I'm full of sweats now.
Yeah.
Well, all the gyms are closed.
Really hard.
All the workout equipment's been sold out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
I can't go buy new pants because I can't leave the house without pants on. So it's a struggle we're all having to face at some point or another. Brett, you're not alone, is what I'm trying to say.
I gotta tell you, Bill, I've had a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on.
This has been so fun, y'all.
Yeah, this has been great.
Can I give you an invitation to my other podcast called Too Spooky? Thanks.
Yeah.
Too Spooky is pretty cool because
Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. Tell her what it's about.
The title?
Yeah. Here, hold on. My mother just came home. Let me close this.
Mom can join.
All right, so let me think. Too Spooky is another show where we try to figure out if monsters are real, and that's it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a question I've always wondered: are monsters real?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
ask her spook level, Brett.
No, that's for Too Spooky. I'm not going to ask her spook level now.
Well, I just wondered. Brett's the skeptic of the show.
You say spook level?
Yeah. All right. Now I gotta say it. Thanks, Dad. Yeah. So spook level is that's the reason I started the show, is because I want to believe in things that I can't. So my spook level would be on like a low scale. So on a low, medium, or high scale, what's your spook level of how much you believe in the supernatural?
I think it's probably about a 5.
Oh, that's in the middle.
It's a medium. It's a medium spook.
It's definitely medium spook, because there's a lot of stuff in the oceans that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
See, that's what scares me. I am scared of the ocean. There
are, below sea level monsters that we are totally unaware of.
Brett, there's your episode.
Well, I'm scared of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster.
It's a valid fear.
Is it though?
It is. Have you heard the stories of Nessie?
I have heard the stories.
They're pretty scary.
They are terrifying.
She bobs up and down out of the water. I mean, what kind of terror is that?
I don't do bobbing.
I don't do bobbing, okay? That's
playing scary. 6 degrees of Lake Bell. She was on a show called Surface, which was about these little Loch Ness Monster type creatures. And you're on a show with Lake Bell, so there's the.
That's true.
Is that show from hell?
you're now a degree away.
I know, 1 degree away.
Is that show from hell?
Yeah. You know, it was only on for 1 season, NBC, but it was actually pretty good.
Was it a live action show or was it a animated thing?
No, it was live action, and they just computer generated the little. You have to look that one up. It's out there. Surface.
That's not. Oh, never mind. That is live action. Sorry.
I bet actual Nessie felt really offended that they didn't cast her in that part.
I think probably it had little baby Nessies. It was pretty
Between all of us, I heard Nessie's kind of getting a little big.
Oh.
She's not very screen ready.
Listen, we're not gonna shame that. We're not body shaming Nessie, okay?
Well, when we see her on Cryptids magazine, and she has a 6-pack.
That's right. She's back. All right, enough. We've talked enough. Belle, where can people find you if they want to learn more about Belle Adams?
You can Google my name now. I am recognized by the Google search engine. That was a cool moment.
Us too.
We are? Hold on. Google.
You can look up episodes of Bless This Mess on ABC.com or Hulu. You can still
they're on Hulu. Yep.
So definitely, if you haven't binged Bless This Mess, take the time. It's a delightful show. It's really uplifting, and I feel like during these particular times, it's like a warm and fuzzy place to curl up into.
Yeah, for sure.
And not to spoil it, but there are shenanigans.
There are shenanigans.
You know, we need an episode where they're visited by a podcasting team that just happens to roll through town.
Meister
Khan coming through.
Or just a guy whose head kind of looks like a turtle.
Oh. Oh, you're the turtle guy. I thought that was a hit at me, but you're the turtle guy.
Yeah.
No, Dad. You just.
The thumb.
Yeah.
I'm the thumb.
The turtle and the thumb.
Turtle and the thumb. Ooh. That sounds like a detective show. Yeah, write that down, Brett.
Yeah, write that down. Get it down. Get it down. Ideas.
Here, just to show you guys what I did write down. Just.
Yeah, that clearly says turtle.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got it. Well, Belle, thank you so much, and please come back and hang on for just a second because I'm going to stop the recording and we'll give you a proper goodbye. But
that's a terrible ending.
No, I'm not done yet. I'm going to let her say goodbye. I just didn't want her to jump off before we get to actually say goodbye.
You're dead.
Thanks, Belle.
This has been so fun. I mean, for a first podcast experience, y'all nailed it. It was creme de la creme.
See? Thank you so much.
Here, Dad. Dad.
Very cool.
I'm the wrong way. I know it is.
Am I the middle then? Is that what?
Yeah, you're the middle.
Yeah, I think that's.
You got the Dream of Genie pose going on. All right, hang on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hold on 1 second. So that was Belle. What'd you think?
I had a blast.
I told you she was awesome.
No, I'm really happy I came to that one.
And I think I can't confirm it, but I think she might be the first guest we have ever had that actually listened to the podcast before she came on the podcast.
She's vacuuming.
Oh, your mom's vacuuming?
Yeah.
All right, you can't hear it.
Oh, you can't?
Well, if you can, it's okay.
How college kid was that? My mom's here.
Yeah. She got me.
She got me. Hey, you want to see what I just drew? Let me cover up that email I wrote. So I just drew an ox chasing a guy on a skateboard and a sword.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you get the email written down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You should send her your short film.
I will, except I definitely shouldn't say, like, what, should we meet at a bar? I feel bad about that.
She took that as a joke. You got jokes.
I got jokes. Son of a gun. Keep talking.
You should have stood up. That's a cool shirt.
Hey, can you wait a minute? Mom?
Trying to be professional
Hey,
here.
can you wait? Go in that for a minute? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Why did I hit record again?
No, leave that in. That's gold.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. She was amazing and so talented. I mean, she's 25, right? And she writes, she directs, she creates, she sings, you know, she writes songs, she acts, she's in an improv group. I mean, she does it all. She's like a quadruple threat.
I really do need to learn how to play this again.
She even brought her guitar out. How awesome was that?
I did too.
Well, that was a bonus.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot you had that guitar.
I tried to learn it a couple times again, and I always give up because it's so hard.
Well, don't give up.
I'll ask Belle if I can do a webinar.
Maybe she could teach you some chords.
I know. Yeah, okay.
Pretend like you don't, dummy.
I wrote Mom a Mother's Day card. This is totally not anything important. I wrote Mom
yeah, we definitely want to catch this on tape.
And I wrote it, and I gave it to her, and it was all smudged.
Brett, what'd you do?
That's when you're a left-hander and you write.
Oh, you smudge it. I'm sure she loved it anyway.
I'm sure, but I felt bad.
You know, you try hard. That's what's important.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Hey, man,
well,
thank you for having me on.
I told you that she was going to be great. I mean, you know, we contact a lot of celebrities, and the majority, well, being honest, they don't answer. But some do, and of those, you know, she was probably the nicest. I mean, she answered right away. She was actually excited to come on. You know, she listened to the podcast ahead of time, and she was, you know, she was great. She was interactive, and she joked. She put up with our nonsense. I mean, that just amazing. I would highly recommend that if you haven't seen Bless This Mess, that you go and check her out. She's hilarious on there. And I definitely want to check out her web series. You know, I didn't do a good job looking that up, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I sent it to you, actually.
Oh, good. Yeah. And the music, you know, that's really cool. That
I do have one confession.
Okay.
So when we started this and I joined, I had a robe on and not like the shirt. So yeah. I'll show you what I did because I don't want to lie to you.
Okay. All right, let's see it.
I just changed my name.
Where'd you go?
I changed my name to Connecting.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm just right here.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So, yeah.
So you heard us talking about you trying to connect.
Yeah, I was actually changing clothes.
Oh, now that's funny. Yeah, that's
yeah, that's a little college trick I learned.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, you should send her an invite to Spooky. You should do an underwater episode and send her an invite.
Yeah, I'm going to send her an email here in a bit.
Yeah, and we'll have her. We'll definitely have her back on. I sent her writing buddy a friend request, and she was nice enough to accept it. So I had intended to ask if she'd like to come on anyway, but if we could get the two of them talking about some of the projects they're working on, that would be
fun.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Have I shown you these Thunder Mifflin matches? It says they're on the desk of Michael Scott.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. No, I had a great time today. I really did.
Oh, I talked to since we're on, since we're just talking it out while we finish the show, I talked to Kate Flannery finally, and I think that she's going to come on the show. She was Meredith on The Office. Yeah,
right. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So she's going to join us on the show sometime soon. So that's pretty cool.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. She's good friends with Jim O'Hare too.
I was looking up the IMDb for Bless This Mess, and I didn't realize Jim O'Hare was on it.
Really?
Well,
yeah, he's funny on there.
Yeah, I actually haven't really seen a lot of Bless This Mess.
Yeah, so you need to go back and watch it because he guest stars quite a bit, and as the second seasons went on, he's on there more and more, and his character is crazy. I mean, him and the woman that plays his wife on the show, really funny. It's really good. And he was good. Parks and Rec did the the quarantine episode.
How was
recently. It was really good. I mean, you got to do it by Zoom, but they did a good job with it. And my opinion was Jim was the funniest part of the show.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. All right. So that's our show for this week. Thanks to Belle Adams, the talented, wonderful Belle Adams, for coming on the show and being so gracious and putting up with our general, tomfoolery.
I feel a little bad. I feel like I joke too much.
Buddy, you're a jokester. People expect that.
Oh, man. I wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, I know how you are. You get nervous, and the more nervous you get, the more you joke.
Yeah, I want to start bringing this notepad so I can draw, and then I won't focus on my nerves.
Is that what it is? You got to calm down. You need something to distract yourself.
Like it's a volcano.
Hey, you should not give up your writing job.
Oh wait, that wasn't a compliment.
Hey, so Emily has started finally. She's had the time to start doing the artwork for the children's book that we've been working on together. So the story is written, just waiting on her to finish the artwork, and then we'll have a children's story.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
And
the artwork's awesome.
I do want to say this. So this is a volcano, but this is a small volcano.
Well, that's I can't think of a better way to end the show. So tell everybody bye, Brent.
Bye, Brett.
Bye, everybody. Oh,
bye.
Boom.
Bang, bang.